Hola amigos, bien ok. Bienvenido otra vez desde Medellín. Hoy, día 33, day 33. Oh, here we go. So, now we're more than a third of the way through the project. Good time to talk about plans. Entonces, volvemos al futuro. Let's go back to the future. So, different ways we can talk about plans for the future. We're going to get asked this perhaps in lots of different ways. Here's some of them. Things like, what are your plans? What are your plans? What would you like to do? What would you like to do in the future? What would you like to do when such and such happens? What would you like to do next week, next month, next year? What will you be doing next year? What will you be doing next year? Do you have a dream? Do you have a wish? Do you have a future project that you'd like to talk about? So really, when we're talking about plans, often it's conditional on something else having happened. So we can say something like, if X happens, then I will be able to do Y. So if this happens, I can do that. Yeah, we're projecting that in the future. There's some different ways we can say that. So I can look at it, when I can speak better Spanish, I will be able to get a different job. Yeah. So it's when I can. So I'm talking about in the future. So I'm imagining what will happen when I can do that. Or I would be able to get a better job if I could speak better Spanish. Or I would like to speak better Spanish so that I could get a better job, or so that I can get a better job in the future. So if I can speak better Spanish, then I will be able to get a better job. Yeah? Or in the future, I am going to speak better Spanish, and then I will be able to get a better job. See how this goes? Yeah. I plan to speak better Spanish in the future, and then I'll be able to get a better job. Yeah. I will speak better Spanish in the future, and then I will get a better job. Or I could get a better job if I could speak better Spanish. Yeah. So generally, the real form is if something happens, and the if is the thing we're waiting for, then I will be able to, I will, I could, I can do the next step, the future plan. So it's really in that form. So we can get all kinds of different ways of questioning it, which is really going to be, what will you be doing? What will you be able to do? What would you like to do? So theoretical type questions. And then it's going to be, well, okay, if this happens, then I will, I can, I could do whatever the other thing is. Yeah. So really, with a bit of preparation on what your future plan is, you can use a couple of these forms, and you can always answer the question really in the same way every time. Any one of these, what are your plans? Well, if I speak better Spanish, I will get a better job. Yeah? What will you be doing next year? Well, if I speak better Spanish, then I will get a better job. You can use more or less the same answer for lots of these questions. Do you have a future project? Yes. If I can speak better Spanish, then I will get a better job. Yeah, because I'm still answering the question in the future. Yeah. So look at it like that. There are different ways that the question could be asked of us, but really, because we're talking about more or less the one project, the one thing we're aiming for in the future, we can use almost just one way of answering that, so we don't have to memorize lots of different ways of answering each of these questions. We just go with the same answer because that's what we're going to do. In the future, I plan to do this. All we need to recognize is that all of these type of questions are asking us about our future plans. They're taking us back to the future. And all we need to do is answer with what is our future plan? My future plan is this. So rather like when we've looked at other dialogues, and our study method generally, if you like, is to take any situation, look at the broadest range of vocabulary questions we're going to hear, and then think carefully about what is the essential things, and only the essential things that we need to say. Very different. So we've got the vocabulary generally, or the general group of questions asking about that particular topic or that particular situation. And then we look at different ways we could answer that question. Try and get this down to a very minimal number, ideally maybe one or two different ways you can say more or less the same thing. This one should be a bit easier because we're only talking about like one thing really. What's your future plan? It's just one plan. I'm going to do that. Work on how you're going to answer that, and then really any of these questions you get, once you know when you're listening for the keywords, oh okay, they're asking me a question about my future plans, that's my answer every time. So I hope you found that interesting and useful for today. So I'm working on a few more of these for my Spanish dialogues. I might show you some progress on those soon. I've done some other readings as well, so I'm trying to keep in practice with that. I'm carrying on with my listening, especially lots of television, podcasts, things like that, during my odd moments during the day. So it's progressing bit by bit. Some of the grammar is still a bit complex, as we know, but we've discussed that before. I'm going back to focus on the really essential things that I'm going to need to use initially, and then afterwards I can maybe add a few extra bits to some of the dialogues as we've developed them. So that's it for today. Thank you again. I hope you're enjoying the channel, and déjame saber en los comentarios. Let me know in the comments, and hasta pronto. See you next time. Cheerio for now.